Disclaimer: the following video is based on rumours about upcoming LEGO sets for 2026. The sources for these rumours have proven accurate in the past, and so a certain level of stock can be put in the basic set information we will run through. However, all information reported should be taken with a pinch of salt, as nothing is official until it is confirmed by the LEGO Group.
Hello Brick Fanatics, today we are speculating, imagining, hypothesizing 2026 in LEGO. Over the past week there have been a bunch of posts on social media from people claiming to have some kind of insight into what the LEGO Group is going to be doing next year. While no social media post on the internet should be taken at complete face value, the posters of this information have been reliable in the past, and as such for many LEGO fans this information will be just worth keeping an eye on. Even so, there is absolutely nothing that LEGO fans love more, apart from complaining about the price of LEGO, than speculating and indeed dreaming about what might be coming in the future of LEGO. So while this is absolutely definitely not set in stone, we are going to go through some of these rumours and we are going to just imagine what could possibly be coming. I'm not going through absolutely everything because some of these rumours are like, oh well, there are going to be some new city sets next year, but they don't have names yet. Yeah, obviously. If you want more information, there is a page on the Brick Fanatics website, which is linked in the description below, which goes into a little bit more detail with some prices and piece counts, etc, etc. There's only one that I'm going to talk about here that doesn't at least have some kind of name, but we will get to that at the end. Strap in then, because we are going to go very fast. And just to be absolutely definitely clear, I know that you watching this video understand this, but I want to make sure that absolutely everybody understands this is pure speculation based on random posts put on the internet by an anonymous person. You absolutely should not take anonymous sources on social media as a point of information or a source of fact under any circumstances whatsoever. Is all of that clear? Okay, here we go. Here are some rumoured LEGO sets for 2026 that may or may not exist. Art: Japanese cherry blossom landscape. Botanicals: tulip bouquet, potted peace lily, daisies and lavender, blooming cactus in a pot. City: go-kart racer, cement mixer, police prisoner transport van, rides police truck, rides fire truck, rides construction loader, rides gaming race car, hot rod, EV supercar, yellow taxi, fried food truck, jet versus car, snowplow, motorcycle transporter, tractor, airport fire truck, the Lego van, airport with airplane, Coast Guard helicopter, Coast Guard rescue boat and helicopter, airplane service truck and hovercraft remix, police train heist, creator 3-in-1, orange cat, cute animal birthday party, cute hamster with a flower, turtle with a water lily flower, fierce dinosaur, retro game console, fierce shark with a treasure chest, playful puppy dog, wild animals, colourful hummingbird, sea animals, beautiful dolphins, Disney, Ariel and Flounder's birthday music fun, Elsa's ice castle and snow ride, mini Anna and Elsa, Ariel's mini magic palace, the Aristocats adorable Marie, Olaf and Bruni's picnic fun, mini Belle and Tiana with castle, Cinderella's royal carriage, mini Jasmine and Rapunzel, Dreams, Fox Guardian mech, crocodile submarine, nightmare scorpion digger, dino jet, tiger shark tank, Friends, flower stand with roses, garden bunny house, unicorn cake delivery, dog treats bakery, pet accessories van, Heartlake City bunny hotel, Heartlake City convenience store, axolotl adventure boat, unicorn dream cafe, Heartlake City fashion show, fun indoor playground, Leanne's family house, horse stable and riding academy, HLC friends clubhouse, ice cream balloon stand, horse baby foal trailer, animal vet clinic, beach house with seals, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic's car, Silver's car versus Knuckles monster truck, Speed Champions, Bugatti Vision GT hyper sports car, Ferrari SF90XX Stradale sports car, Lightning McQueen, time machine from Back to the Future, McLaren W1, Star Wars, Darth Vader's TIE Advanced, Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, Mando and Grogu speeder bike, Cobb Vanth speeder, Yoda bust, Darth Vader bust, MIDI scale 8080, MIDI scale Venator, buildable Grogu, Shock Trooper mech, Siege of Mandalore battle pack, buildable BB-8, The Legend of Zelda, TBC, Technic, Monster Jam Gravedigger Fire and Ice pullback, Monster Jam Sparkle Smash pullback, NASA Artemis Space Launch System rocket, Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport hypercar, 1966 Ford GT40 Mark II race car, Porsche 911 GT3 RAO Rexy racing car. Whew. Alright, that is a very quick blast through all of these rumoured sets. Again, take this with a big old pinch of salt. Let's delve in here a little bit and take a closer look at some of these rumours. Ones that have caught my eye here. Retro game console creator 3-in-1. That's an interesting one. That kind of feels like when you get, for example, a Polaroid camera from LEGO Ideas and then also a camera from Creator 3-in-1 at the same time. Like every now and then the LEGO Group will do something which is a more for adults set and then a more kind of for everyone set at a lower price point at around about the same time, so that there are multiple options on the market. And I always absolutely love when the LEGO Group does this, because it means that a variety variety of different people with different needs and different resources are all able to have fun with the same kind of idea at the same time. This brick-built retro game console then would be coming out, hypothetically, if it were to exist, at around about the same time that the Game Boy is on store shelves, and we've seen that recently, and that looks pretty good, and it's not the biggest, most expensive build of all time anyway, but the idea of having maybe an even smaller thing that is similar to that, so that people who want a little dinky-ditty retro games console in Lego form as well, that's an absolutely brilliant thing to put in the Lego catalogue. Kind of similar, I suppose, to the Pac-Man arcade machine and this new funky arcade machine that we've just got, which I absolutely love in and of itself. It's nice to have the same kind of idea explored in different sizes. As for which retro game console this potential set might be, I mean, it could be anything. I'm imagining something very generic rather than a branded thing because it's Creator 3-in-1. The Lego Group could make something that's got like a little cartridge that comes in and out, or it could make something that is a little handheld, or it could be all of the above. I imagine that the Lego Group is going to borrow aesthetic design choices from retro consoles without being specific enough to label this as a particular console. Now, when we talk about retro games consoles, there's an increasing number of retro systems out there now. Like if you go to a retro game market, which are increasingly popular around the world at the moment, where people love to go and buy and sell and trade these retro games, you'll know that basically anything that isn't the current generation can be called retro. But I imagine that with this set, we're probably going to be looking at something that is more kind of cartridge based, more kind of before the real advent of polygons, kind of pre-PS2 to PS3 era. I'm imagining something that's a little bit more 90s, just because that's what most people think of when they think retro. Again, it could be anything, and because it is a Creator 3-in-1 set, it could also be everything. One of the Disney sets caught my eye. A lot of these are the same kind of evergreen stuff that we regularly see from Disney. For context, I'm aware that I used the word evergreen in a recent video, and not necessarily everybody understood that. When I talk about evergreen, it's like an evergreen tree. It doesn't lose its leaves. It stays fresh and lush and purchasable no matter when. Whereas you have something which is tied to a specific film that will come out and that will be retired and then replaced with something else that ties into a specific Disney film. An evergreen set would be a Disney property that can just stay on store shelves in some form or other endlessly, and it continues to return a profit. Now, the Aristocats, I would say, is probably not one of Disney's biggest evergreen properties, and so this is an interesting inclusion, this Adorable Marie set, because I could imagine it being very similar to the 101 Dalmatians that we've had this year. You know, 101 Dalmatians, not necessarily the biggest thing for Disney, but it's fun to have a bunch of sets in this theme. And if we could get an adorable brick-built kitty to go alongside the adorable brick-built puppies that we got this year, well, that's absolutely perfect for Lego Disney fans. The rumours about more Dreams sets are interesting because a lot of people had kind of assumed that 2025 was going to be the last year for Dreams. This, again, could just be someone's wishful thinking, but if the Dreams theme is to continue, that is fantastic news for people who love it, because there are some really creative and inventive things in here. The Lego Group is doing something with Dreams that we don't really get with a lot of other themes at the moment, which is being really, really Lego. I would love to see these continue, even though I personally don't own any Dream sets. I like the sound of an axolotl adventure boat from the Lego Friends theme. I don't know what an axolotl adventure boat is, but I know I want one. Sonic going all cars does make a certain amount of sense, because there are always Sonic racing games trying desperately but not quite being Mario Karts. More interesting though are some of these Speed Champions cars, a hypothetical Lightning McQueen at Speed Champion size, which would be brilliant for people who love Lego cars, and a Time Machine from Back to the Future car. I can think of a whole lot of people who would absolutely love that. I can feel like that would just fly off of the shelves, because the big Back to the Future DeLorean time machine set, that's fantastic in and of itself. The one that we got a ways away ago in the Lego Ideas theme, which wasn't even called Lego Ideas at the time, that one's a pretty darn cool one as well, although quite a fragile build, because at that stage I think the Lego Group was still not quite giving some of these fan designs the level of polish that we see from them today. But that was a brilliant size for a Back to the Future set, and so something like that again, absolutely people would go nuts for it. The only challenge is, generally Speed Champion sets only have the one minifigure, and you would kind of want two in this one. You would want Doc and Marty. You wouldn't just want Marty. I would assume that was the way they would go with this. Maybe we could get Doc in a train set one day, like an actual big proper train set. That would be just fantastic, rather than the little piddly one we got with Lego Dimensions. Star Wars returning to the endless world that is The Mandalorian does make a certain amount of sense. You've got things like that Cobb Vanth speeder, you've got The Mandalorian and Grogu, of course, and then you've got this Siege of Mandalore battle pack, which, yes, is Clone Wars rather than The Mandalorian, but is still all Mandalorians, and that one could be really, really neat. But okay, all of that out of the way, let's talk about the one set on this list which I've included which does not have a name or some kind of description beyond the fact that it is a Legend of Zelda set. There have been rumblings about this thing for a while, but according to the latest rumours, this set will contain 1,006 pieces, making it significantly smaller than the Great Deku Tree. The Great Deku Tree is a wonderful set for those who feel they can justify the expense of it, but it has been lambasted widely by LEGO fans because of its high price point and its high piece count for the actual build. It is 2,500 pieces, so around 1,500 pieces more than this rumoured additional set that may or may not exist. But you can't put all of those pieces into the build because some of them are used for one version of the Deku Tree and some of them are used for the other one, so it always ends up feeling smaller than the sum of its parts. If the LEGO group doesn't go with that 2-in-1 design again, if we just get a build that is dedicated as a Legend of Zelda build in one particular form, devoted to one particular game, then even though it's got 1,500 pieces less than the Great Deku Tree, it could potentially end up feeling only a little bit smaller. It would also theoretically have a much lower price point. Here on the screen now you can see a bunch of LEGO sets currently on sale within the LEGO website that are at around this piece count. Now you can see there's a fair amount of fluctuation in there, not just based on the particular IP partners, but also just the size of these things, the size of the bricks in here, because Jurassic World sets tend to be a little bit more pricey because they use such large elements. It is a bit of a Wild West as to how much you're going to be paying for your LEGO set at around this piece count. But it is worth bearing in mind that this is the kind of price that we are looking at. If this set does exist, and if it does have this kind of piece count, it means that it is going to be significantly more accessible for a lot of people who want Legend of Zelda LEGO. Not as accessible as it could be, because a lot of the same complaints that people have with the Legend of Zelda theme as it exists now, that there's only the one big expensive set, that would still be true. It would be nice to have something that's a little bit more play focused, aimed at a slightly younger audience, and with a significantly lower piece count and price point. But the fact that we would be getting potentially something that is just a little bit closer to affordable for a lot of people, only at around the 100 to 150 to, I don't know, 180 price point rather than £250, that's something, and that would be wonderful for a lot of people. Again, this is speculation and wishful thinking, and since we're engaging in some wishful thinking, here is my wishful thought for which Legend of Zelda game I would like to get the LEGO treatment next. It's Wind Waker! Absolutely, there's not a chance in the world that the LEGO group and Nintendo would pick this one. I'm imagining something that is a little bit more focused around Breath of the Wild and its a standalone expansion that's masquerading as a sequel, Tears of the Kingdom. But yes, even though Wind Waker is significantly older, I just feel like it would be perfect for the LEGO treatment. It would look absolutely wonderful in brick-built form. I would just like a little diorama featuring Link and the King of Red Lions. Maybe you could get Makar on there as well. I mean, if we really want to go nuts, we could have Medley on there as well. All just in this little diorama scene. I just think that would be absolutely wonderful. That would be my top pick for this. I don't imagine in a million years that I'll get what I want, but that is what I would like to see. Hey, you never know. Wind Waker is on Nintendo Switch Online now, so it's maybe, probably not. Anyway, what are your thoughts on these rumours? Which of these would you like to be real? Which of these do you think are just wishful thinking on the part of the people posting them? Let us know in the comments down below, and do all of the rest of the YouTube things. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you're going to be purchasing anything from the LEGO website in the near future, we have a QR code that is on screen and an affiliate link in the description which take you straight to the LEGO website. We get a percentage of the sale when you purchase through those links. Doesn't cost you a penny extra, but it helps to support Brick Fanatics. Speaking of which, as mentioned, there is a link in the description to the Brick Fanatics website and a full rundown of all rumours this year that we feel are worth mentioning. Definitely go and check that out, and make sure that you sign up to our newsletter so that you never miss anything LEGO related ever again. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.